to our show, Coffee with Chris. Our mission is to provide you with home care tips, education, and resources to ensure you receive the quality care you deserve in the comfort of your home.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, Jennifer. How you doing?
I'm great. How are you, Chris?
I'm great. Good as can be. It's Happy Friday over here.
I love Fridays.
Yep, Fridays. And I see you're at home.
Yes, I am at home. I've been home since March of 2020.
2020. I know it's we were just talking about it not too long ago, you and I, and saying like how all industries have changed during coronavirus, from transitioning from being in that building and then now working at home.
Absolutely. It's been a challenge. It's been an experience. And at the same time, I will say that I am working out more than I was when I was going to the building.
Hey, getting that wellness. It's okay. We all kind of get things in order. So our health, they say you can't have no wealth without no health, right?
Right.
Take care of yourself and your family without it. So welcome to our show, Coffee with Chris, over here at Affinity Senior Care. We sponsor this podcast to talk about educational resources and to concentrate on the caregiver that's in the home, the family members that are the ones taking care of our loved ones. And also too if you are out there trying to assist anyone in a home care company and you're trying to look for education and tips, we're also giving you that too at our podcast. We also concentrate on as well too is if someone also is looking into going into the industry at a national level, we have our Home Care Empire program that we also talk about, and you could always contact us through if you're going to be an entrepreneur and start your own home care company. We also help you with that too. So today we have a special guest. It's Jennifer Nagy from American Cancer Society. Jennifer and I met a long time ago, and I know that we have also worked on some partner programs with they have Real Men Wear Pink.
Mm-hmm.
And I also too have experience with you from my family. My family members have had events through American Cancer Society, and also have been Real Men, Real Pink as well too. You know, I could say my cousin Mark has. I know my cousin Alex has as well too, and all of us, I think, has been inspired in many different ways to be able to help your organization based on personal experiences that we have had in our life that made us who we are today. I know I could just share one story with you is that, I know our Uncle Gino passed away, and he was very dear to us. And I know that he was a big motivational factor for us in our lives in many different ways. And for us to be able to give back was, I know that working with your organization was to be able to support you guys and also spread the word that, if you're out there and you do have a medical condition, you have a loved one that you're taking care of, is that how important it is to be able to have that support. And so that's what I wanted to bring Jennifer on our show today, is because she has how many years of experience working with?
Almost 25 years.
25 years. How many people nowadays can say they've worked with the organization 25 years. That means going to work every single day for 25 years. I have to say, I have employees that sometimes can be caregivers, and sometimes they don't even last a month. and to be in a career for 25 years, you got to love what you do.
Oh, I do. I do. And I to even give you some background probably on how I even got started. It was just a college job, to be honest with you. And so I never thought I would still be here 25 years later. I think I just thought it was paying the college bill.
Yeah, right. I mean, naturally, probably at a young age, trying to get all your stuff together, your ducks in the row. You obviously, when you first started, probably didn't know where you would be 25 years ago with this organization.
No, I didn't. I was in school. I was going to school. I was paying bills. I was a typical college student, right? And I came across the American Cancer Society's telemarketing center. So I started at the very bottom when I say the organization. Like I started at the part where you're calling and asking for donor dollars by phone, right? Which everyone we know, not everyone likes to make a phone call to ask for donation. We know many people who actually hang up on people and all that kind of stuff. I've had many hang-ups, and so it was what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you starting from that piece of the puzzle, you can never be able to give the education resources and be able and be insightful where you are right now if you didn't be able to start from the ground up. And I think a lot of people nowadays, this is just an entrepreneurial tip for everybody just to realize, is that you got to start from the ground zero in order to make it to 100%. Because you can't be 100% if you don't relatable to the person that's at zero. Because it's inspiring to be able to sit in your office. I'm sure someone who just started the organization and saying, listen, like, I've been in your shoes. I've done this. But also too is I actually found a way to be able to excel in my position by starting where you're at. So it doesn't mean just you started there. So even in American Cancer Society, when you're working in an organization so large as you guys are, is that the entry level of starting is that you had to get on the phones, right? Yeah. And you talk to people.
Yeah, absolutely. Right? That was the goal. Was to reach out, ask, community members or volunteers or donors to provide some type of a donation to the American Cancer Society. So that was the goal.
And sometimes they hang up on you.
Sometimes they do. I now personally put myself in a different perspective when a telemarketer calls me, because I know what it feels like on the other end. And so I like to have a conversation with some individuals.
Yes, you're a personal person, and you like to be talk and be able to communicate with others, which is a big thing to be in any type of industry that you're talking on the phone and communicating and all that. You have to be able to kind of have that go-getter attitude where it's okay. You know what? Sometimes just maybe no is not no right now, but maybe later on they might need it. So, or you don't even know what's going on on the other side of the phone. Maybe just because we do it ourselves. So, let's start from ground zero. I love to hear your whole story because I think it's so inspiring to even hear the whole dynamic of American Cancer Society, the things that you guys offer. And then we'll talk about today as well is about how COVID has changed and the things that have changed your organization and the things that you also, for the good, have changed as well too, had offered to our community. So you said you were working on the phones and you were calling and collecting donations. And then let's go. What happens next and into your early years?
It's kind of ironic, really, because at the time I really didn't even know what I wanted to go to school for, right? Yeah. So you're just going with the flow, I think, at that point. And so I found myself graduating with a sociology major and a health and illness minor. So it has that health background. And I just continued with the organization. There was some opportunity here in the Southeast Michigan area. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Everyone, so is that when you're doing a podcast, is that sometimes that I myself I have my phone will start ringing. You know what I mean? So it's always like sometimes it happens during the podcast.
I'm so sorry,
Jennifer. It's okay. I have a whole back end office with my door closed, and I have a lot of things going on.
I did think I turned everything off, so I'm sorry. I apologize for that.
Okay. We're here for you.
So let me kind of start back. So I kind of just found myself through the organization. I had the opportunity to apply for a position, more of not necessarily an entry level position, but it was working in the community when I came back into the Southeast area, which I'm originally from. Yeah. And from there, I just fell in love with the organization, to be honest with you. I met amazing people. I learned about the missions that they had and how they're wanting to fight cancer, but also cure cancer in so many different elements, whether it's research or advocacy or education or some of our services. And I just kind of grew from there. I have had the chance to be a part of some fundraising campaigns, which people may know, Relay for Life, Make Strides, our Cattle Barons Ball. At the same time, I've had the opportunity to supervise staff. And then now, which has really been the last, probably I would say 10 to 15 years, is really working in the health arena. So working with our hospitals, working with our federally qualified health centers, community oriented, making sure that we get messages out about prevention, screening, treatment, information, and making sure we're aligned with all those health systems at the same time.
That's a lot of organizations, a lot of programs that you have going on. I mean, how many people are part of this organization right now? Would you say, like, let's just start with like Michigan chapter. How many employees?
Oh, that's a great question. Honestly, I will say that we have seen a decrease in our employees and staff because of COVID-19. So I can't even give you a realistic number right now where we're at. We had to cut a good 40 to 50% of our staffing resources nationwide. And so we're a little bit on the lean side right now, managing a lot. But, we're here to do it. We're here to do it for lots of reasons.
Yeah, that's everyone scaled down. I think measuring and scaling was probably the best thing. Probably it's a blessing and a curse. You know what I mean? At the same time, though, it probably with an organization like yours, it's still running like a business still too as well. So they have to measure and scale. So but the main purpose is that like these programs are they still a lot of them are still going on. I mean, I can just say I did Real Men Real Pink during COVID. And we Zoomed with like 10 different Real Men Real Pink all around the Oakland County area, and we all raised money to help.
Yeah, no, it's happening. We have pivoted to a virtual environment, whether it's you're calling for cancer information or you're on our website looking at some of the services and resources that are available to you, or if you're fundraising and making a difference by providing donor dollars. And so we've pivoted, we've made it happen. And we had a pretty decent year to come off of 2020. And so it felt good. We were struggling. We were hurting like every other organization out there. We had some serious cuts that we had to do and some managing of different ways of doing things because we are that type of organization that wants to have a walk and people come out and walk and get together and celebrate cancer survivors. And we had to pivot. We had to pivot to a whole new way.
Yeah, I think, like I said, like everyone has gone through that transition, but I know, like for you guys, being in a cancer society and then being able to be there for individuals going through the hardest times of their life, I kind of want to zero in on that a little bit because, like, it's I know that like so many family members are going through so much right now, and there's a lot of mental depression going on, and there's a lot of frustration for family members, and on top of it, to be in the position where not just talking about COVID, but if you're diagnosed with cancer, and I know that you and I have had discussions in the past, and we discussed too, is that if you were to have something wrong and you have to talk to your oncologist or go see an oncologist, it seems like nowadays with how things are, is that it's a little bit more difficult to be able to contact your oncologist and see them in person. So how do you guys get calls like that? How do you handle that right now?
It is more difficult, I will say. I think it's getting better now that we're into a new year. But I will say that, people, that's why we're here. That's why the American Cancer Society is here, right? So we're here to provide reliable information to the community and to a cancer patient, and offer that opportunity of hope for them. And so our call center is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We do not close. We answer the phone, right? And so you don't get a person that you have to push a button and try to figure out where to go from there. You actually get a live person, which is still a valuable resource for the community, where you could ask your questions. You can talk about your cancer treatment. You can be receiving information about your cancer treatment and how to even organize yourself with questions to ask your own doctor, or questions to kind of keep in mind while you're going through the treatment process. We're there, and we've even made the capability. We've even turned the capability to a live chat option. So when you're on our website, if you want to talk to someone, you have that capability as well.
Yeah, customer service has to be so much better now. I know because you're at home, and then everybody could field the calls a little bit faster, and there's no distractions, so they're able to delegate those roles. So that's good. Everybody, if they have questions, if they need to call, like there's a person they can be able to talk to, which is huge. No one wants to press 1, 2, press 2, press 3, leave a message, we'll call you back. Like, it's hard. They're going through already something that's like traumatizing in their life, or they're the caretaker taking care of their parents, and they just need answers and help. And so, that's good to know that the American Cancer Society is there, and anybody can call and help. But let's go even more deeper into this, is that the family members that are out there that need to get tests. So it seems like not even just getting a appointment with your physician, but what if you were diagnosed, but you need to have some more tests and some follow-ups? It seems like that you guys also get callers and family members who say like, hey, listen, like I can't get in to the office and actually transport myself there.
Yeah.
So
well,
what happens when someone needs transportation to even get to there, and they can't do it themselves?
So let me even give you some great, I think, statistics and even data that help you even kind of understand the scope of number of people that call us too. We service about 130 million website visits to our website,
Wow.
which is a lot of requests.
Is that monthly statistic?
It's actually annually. So 130 million annually is still a lot of people asking questions and wanting some guidance, right? So we manage that. We also, within our call center, we can provide that kind of a resource, a referral to national resources, but also provide some guidance to those individuals or caregivers that are looking for information. So what's unique about us is that we do have cancer information specialists that actually are trained, the American Cancer Society, trained with oncology experience, trained to even pass you on to an oncology nurse if needed, where you can have that dialogue about your cancer treatment or look at the resources that you're needing. So transportation being a great example. We do have, the American Cancer Society does have a road to recovery program that drives cancer patients to and from treatment. We know that not everyone can get to treatment because of their maybe a family member working, or it's just luck of the draw, right?
Yeah, they can't drive. They're immobile. They're bed bound, or they can't walk. They're non-ambulatory, so they need someone to take them there.
They need someone to take them, and so we've had that program for years. It's a strong program, always looking for volunteers to drive. But I will say, in 2020, we had to put a hold on our road to recovery program, and we're still not back. And so that is a little bit of what are we going to do? But we're offering referral to national resources that are out there that can offer a second level of support, or direct you back to your local health system. Maybe they have a shuttle, maybe they have a coupon card or a gas card voucher, things like that.
Let's just say for our podcast and all our viewers and everyone is that if you are looking for something to do, that you wake up and you want to jump out of bed and you want to do something for the good, you need to call American Cancer Society and then become a volunteer, because there are people out there right now who need cancer treatment and can't even go to it because they don't have anybody to take them. We get the calls weekly. I get the calls all the time that, hey, I need to go to an appointment. I don't have anybody else to take me, but I can't walk.
Yeah. Honestly, that is one of our biggest needs is volunteer drivers. And so if you have the time, the flexibility, we'll work with you. I mean, we'll work with you on scheduling. We'll work with you on all of that. And so it is very flexible volunteer project.
Yeah, that's great. I think that a lot of people need to make sure that they contact you guys to do that, because I think we all kind of take it for granted that we can transport ourselves and can be independent and do it. But there's a lot of people out there that don't have these resources and they need that help. So that's just a piece of the pie. We're just talking about American Cancer Society. Now, can you imagine all the other medical conditions that everyone else has? I think a lot of the organizations in our Michigan chapters, like for example, I could just say Alzheimer's Association, all of these nonprofit organizations offer these services too. So just everyone, I think that is listening, is that you're not alone. You're not alone only if you go out and research and call and ask for the help. And
right.
Just a phone call, right? Away.
We want you to get to a valuable, reliable organization, right? So you can go out there and Google whatever you want. It doesn't mean it's going to be reliable information. And so we've been around for over 111 years. And so we're there. We're there 24/7. We're there to offer you that kind of information and feedback.
I have had the honor that I've had calls where family members have had, American Cancer Society have recommended us. I've been a Real Man, Real Pink, and help sponsor your organization to gain funds to help our community out there. I know that in my heart definitely is that when I would say is that I know that you guys are looking for partners who are truly making a difference in the community. So like, I know when I joined Real Man, Real Pink is that the individuals that I was working with were very, I would say selfless. Selfless is like they were putting their time, whatever they had going on in their businesses or their family, they put it aside and they did dedicate their time to you to be able to create some type of way to to support. And I think those are the type of resources that you guys are offering, which is I felt that personally. So I know that when they call you guys for sure. So I'm going to put up on the board over here. So I know if you have anybody on our podcast, obviously you're listening to, but you can go to cancer.org or you can call. I'm also, when I post this as a virtual video too, I'm going to put the number up. It's 1-800-227-2345 is the main line you can call American Cancer Society. And this is also too, is if you want to volunteer, you want to help the cause and be able to find out if there's what type of volunteer programs that are out there. Who knows? You can be maybe in a state that they have an organization that would be able to help. They have a program that's going on. Doesn't mean because Michigan is, kind of put a pause on some type of services that someone in North Carolina, the chapter over there, that they might have something going on where it's actually active. So
that's a great point, Chris, because we are a nationwide organization. Yeah. And so though we have some similarities across each function and each department, there could be something happening that isn't happening in Michigan because of the changes of COVID. And so we're really aligned with what the CDC is kind of guiding us and directing us as it relates to some of our programming. But if there's another state that's open and having some things happen, they might be moving a little bit more fluently.
So I want everyone on this. I don't know how far this will go, but I know that our podcast now is it's going to be aired on Pandora, iTunes, Google, Apple, Podbean, you name it. Is that if you have something going on when you have cancer, I want people to call me or reach out to me on social media. Okay. Anybody can look up my name. It's Chris Zayid. Okay. Or you can go to Coffee with Chris on Facebook or look up our company name, Affinity Senior Care. I'm going to connect you with Jennifer. And if you're in a different state or whatsoever, or Jennifer will connect you with somebody in their state, whoever it is that we'll make sure that you are taken care of. If you have a question about something or regarding that you have going on, we want to make sure that you get resources fast and quick.
Yeah. Well, and honestly, Chris, it's that 800 number. That 800 number is the golden ticket right there. And so, it's a live person. May not get me, but you will get someone.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, exactly. I feel like this weekend we're gonna get like a bunch of DMs, you and I. We're gonna be like, Chris, I got 50 messages. We got to field them. But that's okay. There's 50 people we're gonna help with, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit more about if you had to say it's the number one thing that drives you to get out of bed working with American Cancer Society. What is that one thing that?
Well, it's changed for me, Chris, because in the beginning, I mentioned it was just a job. I personally was diagnosed with cervical cancer 13 years ago. And so my reason to get up is for myself. And so I'm doing it for me. I'm doing it for my mom, who's a breast cancer survivor, my niece, who's a Nagy survivor, and I have a nephew who's had leukemia. So I have a family touched by cancer. So we've all been through it. We know it. We've all gathered together with the support system that we have. But the reason is for me and my family.
Wow. So this is something that new I'm learning about with you is that you have your personal family has had cancer in itself. And were you the caretaker during these times?
Well, I will say when my mom was diagnosed, I was kind of the expert with knowing everything, right? So they tend to lean on people who know the information, and so I was able to help guide my mom and my niece into some direction of asking the right questions, making sure they were talking to their doctors, making sure their appointments were scheduled and set up, whether it was myself or my sister or my dad. We were all there to kind of carry the torch.
So, obviously, being a caretaker, and nice as I always truly believe, is that we're all born to be caretakers. And then, when we're born, who takes care of us? There's someone that you're dependent on, whether it be your mom, your dad, whoever it is. If you have a foster parent, whoever, whatever it is, like they are caring for you as a child. As we grow and become, and throughout childhood and become an adult, that we start to be caretakers, of course, again, for what it could be our animal, it could be our neighbor, it could be our spouse, it could be our kids, it could be someone at work. There's someone that we could be a caretaker for to help them and assist them. And there's something that someone's limited on, right? So that's why I believe all of us have it in us to be caretakers. I know when we go through a hiring process, I could feel the energy in the heart of that person who tells me right away in our interviews, and they say, I took care of my mom for 20 years. That's it. That's all I need to hear. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you got to pass a background check and a drug screen and go through our other screening process. But like that, we all have had our share of our experiences of taking care of our loved ones. And I know like, it sounds like that you're in the right place, Jennifer, because you have, obviously going through that with your own family. I mean, I dread the day. I know that when my family members, my Uncle Gino and my grandfather and my grandmother, I've seen at 9 years old, and I seen her pass away with brain cancer. And my grandfather had leukemia. My Uncle Gino, he had, a liver transplant, but then also had kidney cancer. And then, on the other personal family members that I have seen going through this, and I had an uncle too, also just recently, who had leukemia. And all I could think about is who was around during those times. And I think they also felt that way too. Who was around during those times to help them and be with them and support them. And that's all you remember, right? Yeah. And then what happens after with the people that are surrounded around you? What is it that they do based off of that experience? And not everybody sometimes has to go out and be a donor, or doesn't have to go out and be a volunteer, or they have to go out and do great things. But what I think at the end of the day is transpiring to be a good person, transpiring to treating people really good and with compassion and empathy. And like, does that build their character of going through that experience? You know what I mean? Do they really go out in this world? And I think that me just having this conversation with you is the 25 years of you being with them, is that you going through that. Like you almost are reliving that again, talking to somebody on the phone. Am I kind of on point with that?
You are absolutely on point with that. And I've learned so much even about the organization and what the value we bring to a family, to a caregiver, to a patient, even to the physicians, to helping them understand the latest education and research that's happening. I've learned much. I have learned so much in this time with the American Cancer Society that is a benefit to me. I don't want to say I was lucky to get cancer, but I am here today because of the American Cancer Society.
That's amazing. You know what? We're going to end our podcast with that, and because we are so thankful, and I know that we're gonna have other conversations about other topics together. And this is not the last time that you and I be able to have an interview. And I'm sure that we're going to be doing some other special programs together, and being innovative on other ways that we can help your organization. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, Jennifer. Sharing your story with us is so inspirational.
Thank you, Chris. It's been a wonderful morning. I look forward to coming back and talking about another project or a service that we offer. But I do thank you. Thank you for sharing the message of American Cancer Society.
Yes, you're welcome. Yep. And like I ever said, everybody, I'm going to put it on the board again. I'm going to say it again, is that if you need to contact American Cancer Society, it's cancer.org, and it's at 800-227-2345. God bless everyone. We hope everyone has a great weekend. This is a great podcast today. I'm so happy and I'm excited to be able to share this story. And then we'll see you again, Jennifer. God bless you and your whole family.
Thank you so much. You have a good weekend.
Thank you. You too.
Welcome to our show, Coffee with Chris. Our mission is to provide you with home care tips, education, and resources to ensure you receive the quality care you deserve in the comfort of your home.